What is the first thing that comes into your mind when you hear the word robot? A friendly face machine that's easy to talk to? A scary metal monster that comes from the future? Or maybe just a funny box with blinking eyes? So do you know what a robot actually is? A machine? A human machine? Machine that behaves like a human? Machine that wants to be a human? Then let's find out. Robot is. Well, in fact, there is no strict definition of what robot is. But there are some rules of what can and can't be a robot. First, it is a machine. It's moving and it's thinking. It is a physical structure that can move at least one part of its body. It makes thinking into actions. On the outside, it has arms and legs as sensors. On the inside, it has a computer as a brain. It also has a hidden motor that powers his movements. And in order to be alive, a source of energy, a battery, or plugged-in electricity. Second, it should be autonomous. It means to be able to do things by itself. Maybe just some things, maybe everything. But it's no mama-papa humans to watch over him and tell him what to do. So depending on how much of the stuff a robot can do by its own, it can be fully autonomous, meaning doing all by himself. Semi-autonomous, doing just some of the things by himself. Or remotely autonomous, using some little help about some things and so being a little controlled. The important thing, it has an individual part. Third, it has to do something. It has to be made for and know how to do at least one thing. So depending on what it does, it would be a robot of a certain type. Nanorobot, really small, working on really small things. Industrial robot, working in factories for manufacturing. Service robot, doing boring human household chores. Military robot, so it can help humans in keeping peace. And humanoid robot, which is not really a human but imitating one, even having the same emotions. So now I have an idea. Let's make a robot. In order to exist, a robot has to be composed of these four things. Body, a physical structure. If we want to make a robot, we have to make it alive in the real world. So we make him a body. Box shape, any object shape, even human body shape. It is constructed of bigger parts like the head, arms, legs, belly, made of boxes, cans, boards, recycled objects too. The bigger parts are attached between each other with small movable parts called joints. They can be screws, bolts, rivets, pins, spikes, nails, badges, all rotatable and twistable. The body on the outside looks pretty and shiny, maybe even colorful, but on the inside it hides a lot of wires and connectors, organized in such a way to make us confused, but actually make the robot think and be smart. Sensors. If we want a robot to make actions, he has to know what happens around him, so we give him sensors. In order to make him see, we give him eyes, lasers, light and color sensors, really small, just standing there receiving light reflected from objects, people and nature that surrounds him, information about their shapes, their color, whether moving or not, and they can even be round and blinking. In order to make him hear, we give him ears, microphones getting and recording the sound that comes to him, vary in size, shape, function, changing how the sound is obtained. Usually they are not visible, being put inside of the head, and on the outside it can be made with various peculiar earlobe lines. In order to make him touch, we give him fingers. Any type of laser or sensor, maybe a heat one, so he knows how close another object is. As closer they get, the warmer it feels. They can be put everywhere on him, like skin to know not to bump into a wall, or on arms, like fingertips, to know whether he's holding something in his hands. Effectors. If we want a robot, we have to make him show us what he thinks. We need him to make effects, take actions, make him move, and so we give him effectors. In order to make him make, fold, paint, grab, and move stuff around, we give him arms, bars or smaller metal parts, attached to each other by joints, making a certain form of a hand. Palm, finger, or just a clutch depends on what it needs to grab or move, and it can be just a part of it, but even the whole robot. And in order to make him move around, we give him legs. They're the same like the arms, but just on a different place in the body, and instead of moving other objects, it moves its own body. It makes him walk around, climb the stairs, even play football. In order to make him speak, we give him mouth, loudspeaker that allows him to make a sound, maybe a speech, and even tell us something. It can decide by itself what words to tell and how fast and loud. And the most important part, computer. If we want a real robot, then it has to be able to think and remember. It needs a brain, so we give him a computer. When we make him, we teach him the first stuff, how to do immediate decisions, if this then that, repeating, while this do that, and then learn. We can teach him how to learn by itself. And all we have to do is make sure about what and how we teach him. Smart things so he does correct stuff, not different things so that we don't confuse him. Enough so that he does it until the end. For everything else, he'll learn by himself. And now we have our robot. So that's what being a robot is all about. Having body, motor, and energy to use the sensors, effectors, and computer brain in order to see, hear, touch, move, think, and act. So who do you think can do better, humans or robots?